Well, good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending where you are in the world. My name is Keith Hampton, and I'm here to share with you a great website and a great team of people that can really help all of us in navigating the cryptocurrency world. BitcoinTAF.com. I was introduced to this group about 10 years ago, and it really has made an incredible difference in my life because I wanted to find good investment advice, good training in the cryptocurrency space because it was so new. There was a lot of misinformation out there, quite a few scams. It was quite of a wild, wild west, and to some degree, it still is. Fortunately for me, I met a wonderful man named Marius Landman who, in the early days, had developed a unique algorithm that he was utilizing in other industries. And then when he started applying it to the cryptocurrency space, he was actually able to predict and forecast what was going to happen in the Bitcoin movement, whether it was going to go up, go down, go sideways over certain specific periods of time. And so it made us a lot more successful in our investing and our trading of the cryptocurrency. And that has evolved into what we have today, which is a company we call Bitcoin Trending Forecast. I'm just going to share my screen and go to that website. And this company, BitcoinTAF.com, which is Bitcoin Trend and Forecast, has evolved into a incredible organization. Not only do they have excellent guidance on long-term investing in the cryptocurrency space, they also have lots of education and training to help you become a better trader or investor in this space. There's something here for everybody. And so if you get to this website, highly recommend that you just click on the products and just click on all products and just take a look at some of the amazing stuff that they have. Plus, they also you can sign up for free to get some insight and information as well, and then decide whether you want to go further or not. But there is something here for everybody. So for anybody that wants to be a beginner or a long-term trader, or you want to do maybe medium-term or short-term type trading, there's something here for everybody. So just excuse me for 1 second. Sorry about that. Just a little frog in my throat. Um, so when I got started 10 years ago, all that we really had was the long-term trading indicators, and they proved extremely valuable. But as time went on and the market became more mature, the dynamics of the market changed, and we needed to change our strategies going forward. And that's why we have such a plethora of choices today. So what I recommend for people just getting started is that you really want to know, okay, if I'm going to invest in cryptocurrency, I want to know what's going to happen in the future. So I would be looking for information that I would get good guidance on what's going to happen. For example, if I were to bring up this Bitcoin chart, these candles, by the way, are weekly candles. So they're 7-day candles. And we've had quite a run, from October of 2023. We've had a nice run up into this 109, 120,000 range. But the key here is I want to know what's going to happen in the future. And that's where you get a lot of mixed information out in the space. We've got a lot of people that are saying that, oh, all we're going to do is just continue to go up. That's the line. And we've got other people saying, no, not really. It's actually going to kind of hover in this zone for quite some time. And then I've got other reports where we're actually going to get a correction. We're actually going to come down and get a correction before we go up. So the question is, which one of these predictions is accurate? Well, that's where Marius's long-term trade reports on Bitcoin gives us that answer to a very high degree of probability. Like his algorithms utilizing artificial intelligence and his unique skill gives us that guidance. So we know what's going to happen and we know how to strategize accordingly. As well as he has these medium-term reports as well that gives us good guidance on, in fact, I'll just scroll down a little bit. It's called the Elliott Wave chart patterns. And here he gives us the guidance on all of the major altcoins, what's going to happen specifically with them. And boy, that's where I really am profiting mightily because these give me really good guidance as to when to be laddering in, holding my coins, being patient, and knowing when the run's going to happen and to take massive profits because nothing goes in a straight line. They go up and they go down. And there's a certain degree of volatility in the crypto space, which is good news because that's where we can make the most amount of money. But as this is going onward, you can also take many other courses. One of the courses that I highly recommend that once you get involved is you should take this foundational trading course to get started. It's a very inexpensive course and it gives you the guidance as to how to actually read the charts and how to be able to trade, set your stop losses, to do your risk management, all those things that are so key to get started in trading. It really can save you a lot of mistakes that most people make when they get started. And then you need from there, you can always move into our ultimate day trading course. And this course is really advanced. I mean, it's like back up a bit. The Hodlot's self-paced course is kind of like graduating from high school. You get a good foundation, you know where you are, you know where you're going. But when you take the Ultimate Trade course, it's like getting a PhD in analysis and trading. You could be your own analyst with that course. It is phenomenal. It really takes you to the next level. And then, of course, there's other courses they have in here where you can follow the traders and follow their trades, like the medium-term trade reports down here, or the day trade masters, depending on your style. So there's lots here to choose from. And on top of that, there is another little indicator that they do have that could really help you get started. And it's called the HODL Fire. This is an amazing, amazing little tool to help you in your shorter term trading. It's very inexpensive. It's only $31 a month, and you get to try it out for free for 7 days just by typing in the leveraged 7 on the checkout. And you can try it for free on your TradingView account for 7 days to see if you really like it. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. So I'm going to bring up a chart here. This is Solana. And normally, that's what the chart looks like. I put this on the Akanashi candles, so it's a little easier to read. So when we turn on the HODL Fire indicator, what we're looking at here is we're looking for tops and bottoms. We're looking for trend changes, like a bottom and a top, these black bottoms and tops. This is what we're looking for. Then as we go forward, you're going to start seeing blue tops and bottoms, and that just means that those are not 100% confirmed. That's a high probability that that was a top, but it's not 100% confirmed. So there's always some degree of risk involved in every trade. But how I use this is I use this with very simple foundations. For example, this red line is a 200 moving average, and I usually like to try and trade when the coin is trading above the 200 moving average. When it gets below the 200, that's when, you know what, for risk reasons, you might as well sit out of the market and just wait for things to turn around. But how I use this is I'm looking for pivot bottoms. And again, these will come in blue, so it's not 100% confirmed. So what I do is I wait for a buy tag, and then I know I got a higher probability that it's going to go up. And that's where I would enter the trade. So back here, I would have waited for the bottom tag, the bottom pivot, and then I waited for a buy tag. And this is where I would have entered the trade. And now I'm in the game. But I don't know if it's going to go up for sure. So I want to protect my capital. So what I do is I set a stop loss. Literally, I'll just bear with me here a moment. I'll just clone that. So I would set a stop loss. I'll make it in red, just slightly below that bottom pivot. Because remember, this was not guaranteed. So what I'm doing is I'm setting my risk. And in this case, I'm risking about 2%. So I've had a $100 trade on that. I'm risking basically $2. Now, as this trade goes along, I simply just be patient and ride it out. Now, the sell tag comes in. If it comes in without a top pivot, I'm not too concerned about it. However, I got my risk. And if it suddenly were to go down, I'm only going to lose a very small amount of my trade. But as this coin starts to move up, what I do then is I then move my stop loss up. And so I'll move it back up here to break even. Now I've got a risk-free trade going on. And as it moves forward and keeps moving up, I will use a trailing stop. Moving up, it'll be a stop profit. And the minute that I get a pivot top that's when I exit the trade. So I would exit somewhere in this range. And in this case, I would be looking at a nice profit of, where's my tool? Here we go. So a nice 6%. So that's how I utilize the tool. And in this case, I would have repeated it again. Now, this one would have been not as profitable. However, we'll just take a look at that. We would have entered the trade at the buy tag. We would have set the stop loss just below the bottom pivot, and we would exit the trade at the pivot top. So in this case, the risk was approximately, again, only about 1.5%, 2%, but the profit was very low on this trade because it was getting to be a bit of a volatile market of 1%. Now, if you're doing, anywhere from 2 to 10% every 2 or 3 days, I mean, you can really grow your portfolio. So that's why I like utilizing this tool. Now, all the other training that I've had with the HODL Nuts basic course and the Ultimate Trade course, I have much more indicators that I can utilize to be able to give me more confluence to know when to get in and when to get out of the markets. But presently, right now, we've had a big market correction here over the last week. So basically, I would have been out of this market all the way down. I wouldn't even have entertained this because we're below the 200 MA. And only now I would actually take a look at this. And I might do a very small trade. I don't like trading below the 200 MA because the risks are higher. But we've got a bottom pivot. We've got a buy tag. So in this case, I may not invest as much money. I'd maybe do a smaller trade, but I would enter the trade right there. I would set my stop loss, and we would just see how this would play out. So right now, the risk would have been, I got about 3% risk on this trade. And these are 2-hour candles. I like to use 2-hour, 4-hour, little longer term candles. 1-hour candles can work as well. So with this here, so say if I had $100 on this, I'm really risking $3 if this thing goes south. So that's how I would play this game. And as if this coin starts to move up, I simply just move my stop loss from here to break even. And now I've got a risk-free trade. So that's how easy this tool can be utilized. So it's not perfect. You will have losses, but you're going to find that you're going to have way more wins than you do losses. So I highly recommend that you try this tool out. It's called the HODL Fire, and it is an excellent tool that you can utilize to get started. But believe me, you'll want to do all the other courses as well to really get a better advantage of it. So it's very inexpensive. So these are the costs for what you try it and you like it. You can buy longer terms and save more money. And it's a wonderful tool that you can utilize. So there's so much here to offer you in the bitcointap.com for you that I really recommend that you take a look at it for whatever purpose that you have. So with that, let me just check and see if there's any questions anybody has for me. No, I don't see any. So with that, folks, thank you for taking the time to listen to me, and hopefully I'll see you on the other side when you sign up and become a customer just like me, because I am really enjoying this cryptocurrency journey. So thanks again and have a wonderful day. Take care.